Okay, so we are in 3D Studio Max. I got my camera on a tripod because 3D Studio Max is used on a PC and I don't have screen capture software on this PC. I only have it on my Mac. Um, but fortunately, the camera's now on a tripod, so it should be a little more stable here. Okay, so one of the first things we want to learn how to do is work with what are called standard primitives. If you come over here to the right hand side, as I zoomed in on at the end of the last video, you will see that I hovering my cursor over standard primitives. Now you'll see some tabs at the top. The first tab is the Create tab, and everything down here on that lower tab is involved in creation of geometry, shapes, lights, camera, helpers, space warps, and systems. Next to the Create tab is the Modify tab, the Motion, I'm sorry, the, what is that one called? Hierarchy tab, the Motion tab, the Display tab, and the Utilities tab. Okay, so we'll go back to Creation, and we're in the first one here, Geometry, and the default, once you open the software, is Standard Primitives. And under here you'll see Object Type, Box, Sphere, Cylinder, Torus, Teapot, this is text, Cone, Geosphere, Tube, Pyramid, and Plane. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is click on Box. And you see when I click on Box, the parameters roll out over here. This is different with every single thing that you will use in 3D Studio Max. Okay, so I can give it a name and I can select the color. We were going to work more with materials, so for now you can just use any of the colors in here that you want to work with. I do recommend naming your objects. Initially, when you have one box in your scene, it's very easy to know what that is and it won't matter. But once you start working on complex drawings and you have hundreds of objects in your scene, knowing the name of an object will help you locate it. Okay? And you can just, oh, it's not letting me type in there. Okay, well, for now we'll just leave it the default and then we can change it over here. You can create a cube in which everything has the same length, width, and height. You can create a box, which allows you to create a rectangular box. You can actually keyboard entry. You can put in exactly where in your coordinate system, your Cartesian coordinate system, where you want it to create the box. You could tell it the length, the width, the height, and hit create, and it will insert your box. That's faster. But a lot of people like to work this way with the parameters. You can tell it, you can give it information here in terms of height, width, and length, width, and height. Or you could just come over here and draw a box. Okay, you see I'm in the top, I'm drawing the length and the width, and then I'm releasing and creating the height to my box. Okay. And then you'll see over here on the side, it's going to tell me how high, how wide, and how long the box is. In general, 3D Studio Max is a program where you start with an object and then you modify it to be what you want it to be. Length segments, you can see here I've got 1, 1, and 1. Now, I'm going to select it and show you. I'm going to go to the Modify tab so you can see this. Okay, so same information here. I just want you to see what happens when I change the length, width, and height segments. It creates more segments in my object. And what that will do is allow me to work with modifiers. Okay. And we'll talk more about that when we get to modifiers. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. and show you again what I did. Okay, I'm going to go to my Create tab, Geometry, Standard Primitives, Box. Right, and then I'm just going to come to my top view, position my mouse over here, click, hold, and drag. Let go, and then pull straight up. And that is going to give me my box. Now you see how I've drawn this box and I need to zoom out? If I come to the corner down here and I zoom extents all selected, it will allow me to zoom to the extents of the objects that are selected. And you could do zoom all and that will just zoom out on everything. But this is just the one that's selected. Okay, so I now have a box that I have created. And you see I created my box in my top view. I did not create it here. You can create it here, but I'm going to tell you that if you start working in your perspective view, you're not going to have things properly aligned. They need to be aligned in your top view, your front view, and your side view in order for you to be able to align them within the 3 dimensions properly. Okay, we're going to stop this one here and continue in the next video.